Is fasting good? Is fasting an effective way to lose weight? Is fasting safe? Of all the questions I get, I probably get more about fasting in terms of nutrition than any other. So I want to take this video to talk you through the strategy of intermittent fasting and why I do believe it's a good strategy, why it is an effective strategy when done in the right way. Now, it's important to understand that fasting is really a force multiplier. It's not something that can or should be used to compensate for an otherwise healthy diet. What does that mean? Well, if you're not already eating a diet that consists of mostly whole foods, relatively unprocessed, close to nature, right? If you don't have the control and the temperance there, then fasting isn't going to help. In fact, it might even make things worse. So you need to have the basics down first. You need to have the sort of fundamentals of sound nutrition at least mostly established before you start to think about engaging in intermittent fasting. The second thing that needs to be understood is that calories really do count. Now, there's kind of two camps in the world of nutrition, and I think both don't quite get it right. There's one camp that says the only thing that matters are calories. So long as you control calories, that's all you need to worry about. You can eat whatever you want, Skittles, Cracker Jack, the little pieces of shoelace, you eat that. Doesn't matter, so long as calories are in control, you're good. The other, obviously that's silly, but we'll get back to that. The other is the idea that only the types of foods that you eat matter. So long as you're eating the right foods, whatever they may be, then you don't need to worry about counting calories. You'll be healthy and lose weight automatically. Now, the sensible thing, the intelligent thing, and of course what most people intuitively understand anyways, is that both matter. Both are important. Obviously, eating healthier, higher quality foods, foods that are closer to nature, less processed, so on and so forth, foods that aren't insanely hyper palatable and very calorically dense, all that just helps to control calories to begin with. So they're mutually implicative, mutually harmonizing. It's not either or, it's both and. So just get straight on that first. Calories count, but you don't necessarily have to count calories, and this is where fasting comes in. Once you have the principles of sound nutrition down, then if you want to lose weight, you have a choice to make. There's no way that you're ever going to be able to lose weight or reach any fitness goal without managing some type of compromise. All success comes down to managing compromise. So it's not like you're ever going to find a diet that isn't restrictive. People talk about non-restrictive dieting. That is a fantasy, friends. There's no such thing as a non-restrictive diet. The only question is, what are you going to restrict? What compromises are you going to make? Some people might just want to take out certain foods and achieve caloric deficit that way. That's one way to do it. Other people might want to just keep all their foods in, but restrict how much they eat at one time. They just have portion control sizes, and they want to restrict that way. So there's many ways to achieve weight loss, and that's why we see that many people can be successful with a wide variety of diets, because they all kind of come down to those same principles. So it's not a matter of getting away with restriction or doing without restriction. It's a matter of figuring out what restriction is going to work best for you, and that's where fasting comes in. Because what fasting does is it restricts the timing of when you eat. So you might still, eat all the same types of foods. You might even eat a good amount when you do eat, but you're sort of setting up boundaries around certain times of the day when you will allow yourself to eat, and then you'll fast during the other times of the day or the week. And that is what gives you the caloric deficit. So it's another type of restriction. And I think it's a really good one for a couple of reasons. So once we understand these principles, now we can talk about why fasting is often quite effective for people. Think of it like this. When it comes to exercise, if we want to make progress, we don't try to keep cranking intensity day after day or set after set. We don't get stronger by just putting more weight on the bar every single set, every single workout. If we do, eventually we're going to burn out, we're going to get hurt, and then we'll have a major setback. Rather, we periodize, we waive the variables. Some workouts are more intense than others, some workouts are longer than others, some weeks have more volume than others, so on and so forth. And it's by this manipulation of variables that we're able to push hard on some days, pull back and recover on other days, and then the trend is moving upwards long term. That's the intelligent way to go about it. Unfortunately, people don't always apply the same principle to nutrition. Rather, they try to just keep dieting down more aggressively as they move along, and then they wonder why they become overwhelmed and quit. Well, it's the same kind of dumb approach that people take when they don't understand periodization with exercise, and then they get hurt. You need to manage and manipulate intensity for long-term success. Now, here's how fasting can help you do that. You have a day of normal eating one day. It's moderately intense in terms of dieting. Then you implement some fasting the next day and you crank the intensity up. You have a more intense dieting workout as a way to think about it. But then you don't fast the day after that. And maybe you don't fast the day after that. But then you do fast again the next day. So the intensity of the dieting is waived. Some days are more difficult than others. This in turn will make the dieting plan more sustainable, but the implementation of fasting will help you to achieve the trend that you need, the caloric trend that you need to lose weight. So it's not only effective physiologically, but it's effective psychologically. You get those intermittent diet breaks. We also have those more intense dieting days to drive calories down, because calories do matter, they still do count. But then you get to have days of higher calories also, or even throughout the day, because some people will fast through the morning or early afternoon, and then they'll just eat more at night. Same type of principle, just applied on more of a micro rather than a meso level. So there's many specific ways that you can implement it. I'm just trying to get the general idea across. So once you have the foundations of sound nutrition down, once you understand the principles that we're working with, that's when we can start to see why fasting can be such a powerful means for achieving weight loss, and doing so in a safe, swift, scientific, and sustainable manner. So I hope this video was helpful. If it is, please do like it, share it with both of your friends, and leave any comments you have below about fasting or nutrition in general. As always, I'm taking your feedback, your questions, and turning them into these videos. So let's keep the conversation going. I'm Pat Flynn. Good luck and strong on.